So what is the one suggestion you would make to chairmen of boards in terms of actually ensuring that the company and the business and the chairperson, of course, is really getting the best out of the talent, the diversity of experience, that the diversity of perspective that different board members bring?
I think the chairman's role is very important. It has not been discussed as much in literature on governance as the CEO's role has, as the board's role has. But the chairman is a very, very important functionary in the boardroom, because the chairman is the chairman of the board, and the board is the one that sets the agenda for the company, gives the company a sense of direction, supervises the work of management, and this is the person sitting on top of that organization. Clearly, you have expertise in the boardroom. You have diversity of experience in the boardroom. The chairperson's job is to see that all of that is adequately extracted, so that the distilled wisdom is what comes out of board decisions and informs management action. Sometimes chairpersons sit back, and boards, you have all kinds of people. You have what I call persons who have to say something, and then there are those who have something to say. So the people who have something to say stay quiet, because all the airtime is monopolized by the guys who have to say something, especially if the minutes are written in a manner that attribution is there. Oh my God, look at that. 40% is what I said. All the others together had 60%. We don't want to travel down that path. So the chairperson has to extract from the board members, not only in the boardroom. That's a mistake Indian boards make.
Absolutely.
Board meeting over, bye-bye, see you after 3 months.
Absolutely.
So, during that period, reach out to people. This is what is happening. Why don't you interact with so-and-so and help them address whatever they have? Because sometimes some members of management, not the KMPs who happen to see you in every meeting, there are senior management persons who don't attend every board meeting. And yet they might think, okay, she's run Britannia, run it so well. She's been on multinationals overseas. Maybe there's something I will gain by just talking to her, not on specifics. Just ask her broad spectrum questions. How did you address changing consumer demand? Now, a pharma company is not dealing with changing consumer demand. Every consumer wants products to save his or her life at the end of the day. But to get to how people think, how people decide, after decision making is not rocket science. But you can benefit from other people's experience. In a tough situation, what did they do? I think that is the chair's responsibility. Seeing that meetings are conducted well, nobody runs away with the agenda, and that the management gets to know that at the end of the day, the board will call the shots in terms of what the management needs to do, and the management has to do it well.
You know, you're right. When you said that there isn't much that has been spoken about or written about on the role of chairs, I was reminded of Sir Adrian Cadbury's book, which he wrote in the early 90s, I think, where he talks about chairmanship and the role of the board, where he's very explicit in terms of what is the responsibility of a CEO and what a chair does.
Yes.
You know, I don't know what you think about it, but I thought it was...
No, I think there have been a few. Certainly, Sir Adrian Cadbury's book was there. He was, of course, focusing more on the audit committee, which was what had gone wrong in the UK.
But the book dealt with the larger issue of boards.
And in fact, there are some good publications that have focused on it. But I think less than it has focused on the chief executives and the board as a collective. The other point from what you said, that there is not much written on the chairs, etc. Many people in India certainly think that if you're appointed a chairperson, you hit the ground running. You don't. So they've been on the board for several years, and now they're moving into chair. No, you don't hit the ground running, because there are not just your colleague directors till the other day who are looking to you to provide the leadership. There are people who are not board members and yet whose value can be extracted by a board if you set the right sense of direction. But at that age, at that stage in life, many people think they are beyond training, beyond orientation. And it's a brave person who says, when you're closing, say, between 65 and 70, to say, okay, there's a lot of learning ahead.